Welcome to part 3 of ClickBank's affiliate training series. This video is going to be about how to grow your audience, which is really where you're going to start seeing the results that you can use to build a long-term successful affiliate business. So the first step in growing your audience is to really do your research. Just like we did when we looked at how to choose your niche, you need to really understand who is the audience that you're going to be speaking to and promoting products to. So some questions that can help identify who your audience is really who is your ideal reader or visitor. Think about the persona of that person. Think about things like what do they look like, what do they talk about, care about, hate, fear, desire. You want to think about their emotional state and their emotional needs as well as their demographic needs. So don't just think about gender or age or location. Think about what really motivates them. So who do they hang out with? Who do they talk to? Who do they disagree with or argue with? Who do they idolize or want to be? Those are going to give you some great ideas for the types of topics you could talk about and the types of products that they might be interested in. So then where do they hang out online, in person? Where do they want to go? Where do they want to travel to? Where do they not want to go or not want to do? What products, brands, or personas do they love and hate? How do they talk? Are they pretty informal, or are they very businesslike or highly educated? Do they speak passionately but not very formally, or are they analytical thinkers and they wouldn't connect with someone who's being kind of informal and speaking off the cuff or speaking with a lot of emotion? And then finally, what lingo do they use? What are the types of terminology that they might use? Because those are going to give you ideas for keywords that you could target in your content when you're wanting to rank in search engines. So thinking about what kinds of language they use is going to be helpful in figuring out how to start getting people interested in what you have to say. So just as an example, these are 3 different personas that you see here on the screen. There might be a new mom, or someone who's a pretty hardcore cyclist, or someone who's a fisherman. They're going to have very, very different needs. What they're looking to get from your product or your blog or video channel or whatever it might be is going to be very different than the other personas. There may be some overlap, but you need to be able to speak to their specific needs and desires and use the type of language. A fisherman is going to have some very specific terms that they would know that a normal non-fisherman wouldn't know. And same thing with new moms. They have things that they care about and want to hear people using those terms so that they can connect with them. So the number one question to answer when you're trying to identify how to grow your audience is, why are these people coming to you? Why are they seeking out your site or your platform? What are they hoping to get out of it? Or do they need a solution to a problem? Are they looking for more information? Are they looking to do something better or faster? So what is their big reason and desire for coming to you? And then the second question is, why should they listen to you as opposed to all the other experts or people out there weighing in on the topic? And they're not going to listen only to you, but what do you have to offer to them that makes it worth their time and the effort and attention that they're giving you? If you don't have a compelling reason or a compelling difference, it's going to be really hard to get people interested and to keep their attention. So think about that. Maybe you help them achieve a result quicker, or you are friendlier and more likable, or you deliver the information in a way that is kind of unique. Maybe you deliver video training or something like that that isn't common in that niche. So think through what you could do differently that would really make your platform appealing to these people. So great content on your platform, whether it's written or video or whatever it might be, that's really the foundation of building your platform and growing an audience. These days, having great original content is just not optional. There's so much out there in terms of people that are creating information and sharing information that if your stuff is just a Me Too rehash of what's already out there, it's likely to get ignored. So having great original content is really just sort of the price of entry into becoming a successful affiliate, but it's not what's going to take you over the top and make you hugely successful. So your content, to be able to connect with people and be helpful for people, needs to be honest. It needs to be valuable, and there are a lot of different ways you can define value, but basically don't waste people's time. Give them something that's actually useful and that they're going to be glad that they took the time to consume it. Otherwise, you're going to lose them, and they're probably not going to come back and give you another chance. If it's possible, deliver the information in multiple formats. So, maybe do some text blogging, or do video, or do a podcast. But if you deliver it in different ways, you have more opportunities to reach people where they are and how they like to consume the information. The next one is make it as short as possible, but no shorter. People don't have a lot of time online. There are a million things competing for their attention. So you want to say things as concisely as you can, but don't make it so short that they don't actually get anything useful and valuable out of it. And then above all, make it results oriented. That's what's going to really resonate with people and get them liking it and wanting to come back to you and recommend you to their friends, which is going to help grow your audience, is if you can actually deliver a result for them. If they read it and just say, yeah, that's interesting, but there's nothing I can use here, then they're likely to go away and not necessarily come back. So you want to deliver some kind of result, and then they're going to tell other people about you and be really committed and excited about promoting you. So one of the things that can really set you apart and make you stand out in your niche is having a personality. And there are a lot of different ways you could go with this, similar to how we talked about personal brand versus business brand. But you want to think about what's your personality when you're speaking to your audience, and is it the right personality for them? So a couple examples here. Jim Rome, who's a sports analyst and talk show host and things like that. He's very opinionated. His kind of catchline is have a take. So that's true for your personality as well. You need to have a certain opinion or certain angle on things that lets people identify with your point of view or disagree with you and say, this guy's not for me. What you don't want to be is everything to everyone, because then you end up being boring and no one is excited to follow you or hear from you, or to argue against you. And having people argue against you is not a bad thing at all. That can actually get you more attention. It can kind of build a tribe around you where people say, hey, I agree with this guy, so I'm going to argue on their behalf. So, somebody like Jim Rome is very polarizing. People either like him or hate him, and the people who like him really, really like him, and the people who hate him can't stand him. And that's not a bad thing. He's been able to build a very large and successful platform by having that kind of personality. Similarly, Jillian Michaels, who we mentioned earlier, she's known as being sort of the mean personal trainer who gets a lot out of people by pushing them and berating them and pushing them beyond their comfort limits. So that's another great example of that's kind of her brand and what sets her apart from a lot of other personal trainers who might be totally supportive and kind and trying to be gentle with people. But just so you don't think that you have to go the angry, loud route or be the mean person in the space, then you got somebody like Rachel Ray, who is in the cooking space, and that's a really crowded niche. There are lots of professional cooks and chefs out there that are trying to teach this stuff, but her take was kind of being the friendly girl next door, not being too fancy or complicated, keeping things simple, and tons of people can identify with that because they don't want to be a snooty professional chef. They want to just have fun cooking and enjoy it and love it. So you can take that route too and be the friendliest person in your industry, and be someone that people can identify with and really like. So earlier we talked about building a brand and how important that was, and I just want to reiterate that here when you're trying to grow your audience, that even if your brand is casual, you want to look professional. So that would be things like having a custom logo made, which can be really inexpensive, getting a premium or custom WordPress theme like we talked about, having images in your posts, and there are stock photo sites that you can get those from. You can do Creative Commons free image searches to find things to use. So there are lots of sources of pictures. I mean, you can take your own photos and use those, and that's a great way to personalize your website. Having branded social media pages that sort of reinforce that brand and tie your image and your brand across all the different platforms and social media networks. And then having a real email address or URL. So instead of having your name at gmail.com, having your first name at yourdomainname.com. So that's a good way to make your brand look professional and make you trustworthy and that people will take you seriously. So here's some examples I wanted to show you of people who've done a really good job of building really professional looking platforms. So this first one is Pat Flynn of smartpassiveincome.com. His is fantastic. I mean, he uses similar colors and imagery across his whole site. He has the whole "Hello, my name is Pat," where he introduces himself. And in an industry like internet marketing, which is the space that he's in, there's a lot of anonymity and people are afraid to trust the people that they're seeing there. So he does a really good job of being very transparent and sharing his story so that he's likable and trustworthy. And people love him, and he has a huge following because he is very open and honest in what he does. This next one is a website called nerdfitness.com. It's a great example of both kind of niching it down and also identifying who your audience is and who your tribe is. So, he's saying this is fitness for geeky people that like geeky stuff. So he uses language from video games and imagery from video games, and is very kind of casual and fun instead of being really hardcore fitness. And you can see that he's done a great job of making his site look really professional, tying in color schemes, getting a lot of custom graphics done, and putting his face front and center on there. And then this is a different one. This is a mommy blogger, and she just does a great job of looking very approachable and personable, using a lot of really nice colors and speaking directly to her audience. So there are a lot of different ways that you can go with the personal branding, but what you want to do is make sure that everything you're putting out there is speaking to your particular type of audience and that it all reinforces your trustworthiness and likability. So a rookie mistake that a lot of affiliates make, and I see this all the time, is trying to monetize and make money from your site or from your platform from day one. This is just a bad idea because it ends up that you look like you're trying to make money rather than connect with people or really share a message or share your thoughts. So you're much better off focusing on building your audience, putting out good content, connecting with important people in your industry, than immediately slapping up advertisements on your website from day one, or your first post on your blog or on your YouTube channel or whatever it is an affiliate promotion. You're going to have plenty of time to make money once you have an audience in place. But if you're trying to make money from people on day one, they're not going to have any reason to trust you or like you or want to come back and listen to you again. They're going to feel like you're trying to take advantage of them. So build an audience first. You can start monetizing relatively early on, but just don't do it right off the bat. I see way too many sites that have ads slapped up in every open spot on their site, and it looks terrible. It looks like someone who's just trying to make money from every visitor. So instead, cultivate that trustworthiness and audience. The next big piece of growing your audience is adding value to the community. And to the community, I mean the community that's in your niche. So you can do things like really participating in forums. Don't go into forums and just start posting links or that kind of thing, but get in there and have real conversations with people. Figure out who the kind of power players are in your niche and build real relationships with them. Support them. do good things for them, share information that's going to be helpful to people, and the people in that niche will start looking to you as an expert and start coming to your website and consuming your content or signing up for your newsletter. So you want to get in there and really be real with people and do a good job of demonstrating your value to that community. So similarly, get active in Facebook groups in your niche. Network on Facebook and Twitter with the people that are decision makers or that are players in your niche, and they don't necessarily have to be the absolute A-level people that are hard to get a hold of. Start with people that are kind of at your similar level or that are maybe a little bit more advanced than you. That's going to be way easier than trying to connect with someone who is constantly getting bombarded with emails or requests to connect. Do guest posts on blogs in your niche. This can be huge. This is a great way to get your name out there and get your reputation going, start getting traffic, and it also is good for SEO if you have links back to your site from your guest post, which is usually the case. So that's a great way. Write content for your guest posts or guest videos or whatever it might be that is very, very relevant to that particular blog's audience. So do some research again. Read through the types of posts that they've posted on their site, what gets the most comments, what their audience seems to be most interested in or having questions about, and do a guest post that addresses that. Attending events and conferences is one of the best way to get out and meet people. There's something about face-to-face interactions that takes down a lot of the barriers people put up online with being anonymous or not knowing whether to trust somebody. When you meet someone face-to-face, it's so much easier to trust them quickly, and it can be a great way to get to know people and find people that you can support and that can support you. And then finally, on your site or on your platform, link out to other valuable resources and sites. That's another common mistake I see, is that people are afraid to send their visitors anywhere else online, and it just doesn't work. You need to share things that are going to be useful to your audience, and they'll appreciate you for it and reward you for it, instead of forgetting all about you. If you're the person that tells them about some great resource, and not necessarily a product, but another blog that might be useful or a great video or something like that, then they're going to remember that and appreciate you for it. And it's also good from the search engine's point of view. Google wants to see that you are participating in the community and that you're not trying to be this closed off person that doesn't ever get out there and participate. So they want to see you linking out to good, reputable websites. Next up, you want to stay in contact with your email list that you're building. Just like I said in the video before this, you want to start building a list right off the bat. That's what you should be doing instead of trying to monetize right off the bat. So besides just sending out your content and updates, again, you want to share great resources and information, other things in the community, and not just stuff from your own website or products. You can survey people or ask them questions about what they're struggling with, what their challenges are, what questions they have that they're having a hard time getting answered, what content they'd like to see you create. That's a great way to get ideas for creating content, or maybe even creating your own product someday, rather than just promoting other products. And then finally, you want to add value and share stuff before you start promoting products to them. So I wouldn't recommend in your very first email that people get after they sign up to your list that it be an affiliate promotion. It's going to upset people or scare them off. They're going to think that you're just trying to get money out of them and that you're not really interested in the relationship or sharing good information. So, send them some content and add value to them before you then say, hey, and by the way, if you like what I've been sharing with you, here's something that you might be interested in. And we'll get into how to do that in the next video, but add that value first. So how you treat your list can certainly make or break your reputation. Having a list is one of the most powerful things you can do to be successful as an affiliate. And if they feel like you're just constantly bombarding them with affiliate promotions, they're going to get upset by that and unsubscribe from your list. So you want to be a hero to them. You want to be the person that they look forward to getting your email in their inbox. Okay, so this is a big one. This is the secret to affiliate success, really. It's just one word. Think about what your guess would be on this. So that word is consistency. And this is something that seems to be one of the biggest challenges and the biggest places that people fall down when they're starting their affiliate business. Is they get into it, they get really excited, they do a bunch of work for a week or two, and then get discouraged that they haven't made any money yet and give up completely. And it just doesn't work. You're going to have to put in regular, consistent action, even if it's only 10 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day. That's going to show much better results than doing a bunch of work in a short burst and then never touching it again. So, you want to be blogging consistently, or creating videos consistently, or mailing your list consistently. Too many people are thinking short term on this, and as soon as they start slowing down, or they don't see the results that they were hoping to see, they give up. But the people that keep working consistently are the ones that can push through that and actually get the big results and the sustainable results that they're going to be able to see the benefits of for years. So that's it for this video. In the next and final video, we are going to talk about how to actually go about referring products in a way that's going to be successful and is going to make you money. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.